Give us some love. I'm going to turn it over to the man for the scenarios and a TA on Bitcoin and ETH. Forrest, take it away, man.
Thanks for the legendary market update, Bill. Let's just jump over to the Bitcoin chart. If I can share my screen here, and do let me know if you can see it in just a moment here. So, yep, looks like we're good to go. All right. So I want to walk through on Bitcoin and Ethereum the big levels to watch out for, right? And now, as Bill mentioned, I think Ethereum is the real play here because of the supply crunch of Ethereum. But we'll get into all that in just a moment. I've really pared down and simplified the most important margin pressure levels that we're currently seeing for Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So we had our bottom at 29,000 and change. Yes, we did have a wick. We had a temporary wick that did drop below this. When it comes to margin pressure levels, you take the lowest, the most recent swing low, and that's where you calculate them from. And you can see that from this $29,278 low, we were able to calculate two big margin pressure levels, the 3x long and the 2x long. Well, Bitcoin had a very aggressive move, blasted through the 3x long, found support on it, actually broke down below it, tested as resistance, and once it broke through this 3x long level, coiled up underneath the 2x long level, broke through it very hard, made a new all-time high, and has since come back to test this range. Now, it hasn't come back all the way to test the 2x long level, which in my opinion is a little bit bullish. However, I do want to draw your attention to, in just a moment, a potential head and shoulders that we're seeing maybe form, right? Maybe form if we come back down. From our $39,600 swing low here, we can also calculate our margin pressure levels. We saw the 4x margin pressure level get broken very strong with a lot of momentum. This lines up with our previous resistance point, right? 3x long level broken with a lot of momentum. We made an all-time high. Where did we find support? Our 3x long level. I don't know if you guys are seeing a pattern here, but these key resistance levels are being broken with big Bitcoin candles slicing right through, right? And that's been the story this entire time. Bitcoin slamming through these margin pressure levels with very big candles. Now, that is a momentum trade, or that is a sign of a momentum trade, right? So Bitcoin, the first real relief we've seen since this 39,600, and when I say relief, I mean just slight pullback, dip buying opportunity. The first dip buying opportunity we've had really is at this 3x long level at about $59,600, just under 60K. Tried to test below 60K, got bought right back up. That means there's buyers. It means there's buyers waiting down here to buy it when it drops below 60K. Why are they willing to buy it when it drops below 60K? Well, as soon as they buy below 60K, or as soon as Bitcoin drops below 60K, they're able to come in with a big fat 3x long, right? And they're able to come in with a big fat 3x long leveraged position because it gets their liquidation point below this support right here. Why do they want their liquidation point below this support? Because if there was a flash crash, a flash wick down, where would it get more than likely bought back up? Down here. They wouldn't get liquidated, right? Now, some people trade with stop losses, of course, but you always want to be able to predict or protect your liquidation point with support. And that's how margin pressure levels work, right? We're predicting the behavior and the desire to hide your liquidation point, or for leveraged traders to hide their liquidation points below these leverage levels. Now, we can calculate, again, another margin pressure level off of this 39,600 level because we haven't hit it yet. The 2x long level. That's the next resistance point if Bitcoin continues this pattern and goes upwards, right? 79,000, let me double check this so I'm getting the exact number for you guys. 79,200. Yep, 2 times 39,600, right? $79,200 is where we would expect to see some resistance broken for Bitcoin. Now, pay attention, because What happens if Bitcoin breaks this resistance level with a big fat candle, comes down and tested as support and continues up higher? Well, then the momentum has not been exhausted yet, and we're potentially heading to our next margin pressure level, which at the moment is $89,250. So this is a very, very, as we creep up higher, if and when we get to $79,000, watch how Bitcoin breaks it, or if it coils up underneath it and ends up failing. If it ends up failing, it may be time to get out, take some profits, right? But if it slams through it with another big fat green candle, then that's a strong sign that we're headed to the next margin pressure level, which at this moment in time is $89,250 based on our $59,500 retracement. Now, as I mentioned, let me give you the slightly more potentially bearish scenario. Head and shoulders, right, on the 4 hour, right? This is shoulder, head, and we're potentially forming a shoulder, right? We're starting to see this form a little bit. Bitcoin in the last 4 hours giving us a red candle, trickling back down to the support. Now, if we see a retest of this support at $59,600 or so in this range, look for a potential breakdown to the next support level, right? We know there's buyers waiting to buy it at 60,000, but if it retests again, right, and it breaks down to 58,600, that may be the next level where we find buyers come in, right? And if things really start to get bearish, right, and if we really start to see Bitcoin trickle down, and it honestly probably develop, faster than that, and we see this head and shoulders really play out, the next big support level is this 4x long level that we just talked about at about $53,000, just under $53,000. That, to me, is a phenomenal buying opportunity and phenomenal trade opportunity. Why? Because we expect buyers to come in and we expect to be able to see at least a bounce, right? If this did happen and, at this point, everyone starts getting worried about a bear market again, Bitcoin's down, 15, 20%, everyone starts getting worried about a bear market, right? Even if we did, for whatever reason, go into a Bitcoin bear market after, and ended up being the double top and everyone started freaking out, we would at least expect to see a bounce, and probably a pretty strong bounce here, right? All the way back up to this resistance level. So this is a potential trade opportunity that I want everyone to be aware of, because at $53,000, there's strong support. We so often see bounces between the 4x and the 3x levels, and then the 3x and the 2x levels, right? So if Bitcoin drops to $53,000 in this zone here, I am absolutely going long. I am absolutely buying that dip. That being said, things are looking pretty bullish to begin with, and we might not actually even see this head and shoulders form and complete. And even if we do get this head and shoulders completing, a failed head and shoulders where we come back down here and we get caught at this 2x long level and then start going back up, a failed head and shoulders can be very bullish, right? Because everyone sees the head and shoulders. They see the head and shoulders look like it's about to play out. It gets a reversal. That's a very bullish sign when a head and shoulders gets rejected, right? So I want to jump over to the ETH chart really quick. And I want to first and foremost on the ETH chart, zoom out to the daily. It's a good habit to get into, guys. And just show you the trajectory this bull market that ETH has been on, right? It's been operating in this channel. Right now, it's in what I would refer to as the accumulation portion of the channel. Ideally, you want to be able to accumulate in the bottom half of the channel, start taking profits in the top half of the channel, accumulate again in the bottom half of the channel. Now, we have had a nice bounce, right? We're not necessarily on the bottom of this trend line. So is it the absolute best buying opportunity? No, but all things considered, what we're seeing on chain with Ethereum becoming extremely scarce, and with the overall trajectory of where Ethereum is headed towards, I think Ethereum's probably the safest buy. If you had to get, if I had to get long on something right now, if you said, Forrest, here's $100,000, you have to buy something today, right? Probably just buy spot ETH. Spot ETH makes me feel very safe right now. It's on a solid trajectory. Even if if it can just hold this bottom trend line here by January 31st, it's at about 5.7K, right? Now, of course, trend lines can be broken. Trend lines can be broken, right? If this bull market ends, lots of trend lines will be broken, right? But if this bull market can hold out for the next 3 months, next 75 days, we're looking at 5.7K basically programmed into Ethereum's future, right? Watch the burn. EIP 1559 has reduced Ethereum's net issuance by 57%. That is more than a Bitcoin halving. I know I talk about this every single live stream, but I'm trying to pound the table on it because I think it's that important, and I don't think it's been priced in yet. It's EIP 1559 that happened in, I believe, September. And yes, we've seen a nice little bounce out of Ethereum, but it's just, or maybe it happened in August. The days and months start blurring together. But it's that we haven't seen a serious repricing of Ethereum yet. Yet the net issuance has dropped 57%. What happens when Bitcoin's net issuance drops by 50%? It's called a Bitcoin halving. It happens every 4 years. You see an entire bull market just completely take over. All Bitcoin and all altcoins just appreciate in value based off of Bitcoin's supply getting cut in half. Yet we've seen Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, we've seen Ethereum's market cap or net issuance get cut in more than half, and we've yet to see it completely reprice like we would expect over the next several months. Right? Why hasn't it repriced yet? Well, when we look at Bitcoin halvings, it takes, you look at a Bitcoin halving, it can take, right, a year for it to reprice. It can take a year for it to reprice. Now, last thing I'll give you guys before I cut it back over to Bill is the big margin pressure levels to watch for Ethereum. Guys, if you get a correction or a buying opportunity at this 3x long level, it's about $4,000. Yesterday, I believe this red candle actually gave you that buying opportunity, $4,000. Right? It looks like we're going back up to retest the previous all-time high at $4,400. If that scenario occurs where Bitcoin comes back down to test $53,000, again, I honestly don't think it's that likely, but I'm prepared for it. Right? Just because a scenario isn't likely doesn't mean that it can't occur. We need to be prepared for it. Right? If that occurs, then where's Ethereum headed down to? Well, if Bitcoin hits 53,000, I'd expect Ethereum to come back down to 3,400. This 2x long level, right? This 2x long level, it's the 2x long off of our $1,700 base here, which we tested multiple times. Right? We tested this support already, but if Bitcoin starts dropping down to 53K, that's where I'm buying. That's where I'm buying, and if we ever see $3,000 Ethereum again, I'm absolutely buying down there as well. Now, on the upside, Ethereum yet to break its all-time high, or convincingly, I think it might have broken it by a few dollars on some exchanges. 2x long level off of our most recent swing low is around $5,300, $5,304, depending on what exchange you're on. Roughly $5,300. That's where I would consider in a short-term trade taking some profits on an Ethereum position, assuming you built the Ethereum position, down here, all along the way, right? $5,300 potential resistance for Ethereum, but again, pay very close attention to how these long levels are being broken, right? Are they being broken? Are they being absolutely slammed through with one big green candle or two big green candles all in one day? That's pretty bullish, right? So just wanted to give you guys those levels, and I hope this content is helpful. I'm going to kick it back over to Bill.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. So ETH hit support yesterday through Forrest methodology and mine. So very interesting. I saw somebody saying he needs 7K by the holidays, and DeFi Jesus says 2022 is ETH season. Very well could be the case in January, because remember, institutions and retail alike are going to come out of the holiday season going, how do I get invested in crypto? Institutions are going to want to put things on their books earlier in the year, and that could mean a lot of money flowing into ETH, because after all, if you've got to buy the Bitcoin ETF as an institution, you're probably late to the game. I don't think anyone's going to penalize you for that, but the hot trade frequently is not the older trade. So what Forrest is telling you about ETH, the support levels, and the supply situation is something noteworthy for you. Very noteworthy. It's also noteworthy for Token Metrics and our new streaming service, which is coming out soon, Token Metrics TV. If you're an existing customer, you can get it via our website. It's got a Hulu look to it. All right, and that is coming out soon as a lower cost alternative to get you involved in crypto. So if you want indices and all that other stuff, we have that too. But TV is coming. Now, speaking of TV, let's move to altcoin overtime. Because other than Forrest, I know that y'all are here for altcoin overtime. So before I get going, please give us some love. Hit that like button. Turn on alerts. There's a